you. You're tuned in to the Skirts Up Show with Samantha and Melissa.
Join our mission to normalize failure, but still uncover the positives at every twist and turn.
Skirts up, but keep your panties on.
What's up, Skirts Up Squad? It is Samantha.
And Melissa.
And happy late Father's Day. I guess.
That's right. Wait, what?
I said, I guess. I thought you said yuck. And I was like, fathers.
Precisely. I knew. I don't know if you guys saw, but I posted a reel. So I was planning on making a Father's Day dinner for Simon and Andrew, and we were going to have dinner together. And I don't cook. I'm not good at it. And I was like, the only thing that I'm good at making and know that like it won't be ruined is things in a crock pot. But our crock pot is so small that like it hardly feeds like our family of 5. So how am I supposed to feed like 3 nonstop eating males and, just all this food? And so I go, hey, Simon, you know what we really need for Father's Day? A bigger crock pot. And so for Father's Day, I got a family big size crock pot.
I did see that. That's awesome.
Oh, you know what's really funny though? After I posted that video, within 5 minutes, Simon sends me a reel over Facebook and he goes, oh my God, someone else did that too. And
Is it yours?
It was our reel. I was like, so I look up.
It's great too.
I like looked up and I was like, oh,
Is he joking?
I was like, did I spell something wrong or why did you send me my reel? And he goes, what reel? And I go, you just sent me my reel. And he was like, oh shit, I didn't realize that was you. Like,
that is hilarious. I'm actually gonna change my fail. Okay. This is a spur of the moment. It's not, well, no, it's not a fail. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't. Okay, whatever. A funny story. Okay. Because you just reminded me of it. So you guys know that Sam and I went to goat yoga the other night and they were awesome. They like let us stand up and like do a little spiel at the end of the thing. And we handed out, because Sam was awesome and brought little goodie bags for everybody that was there.
all
And
branded.
they had,
And it was a big hit.
they were branded and they had our faces on the front, but it was like kind of not glamour shots, but it was like cute shots of us.
Mhm.
And it was so funny because later that night, one of my friends who got a bag was like, you know what you guys should have done? And I was like, what? And he said, well, you guys should have put a picture of your own faces on the bags. I was like, wait, what? And my other friend jumps in and goes like, wait, what are you talking about? And he goes, instead of those pictures of those other girls.
Okay, I want to ask who, but I know you don't want to.
I'm not going to say who, but I can tell you later.
Oh
But it was hilarious. He goes, I was like, you mean these girls right here? And I held it up next to me. And I was like, because this is me. And he's like, oh my God, it's you guys? I didn't know. I was like, well, to be fair, they're like super cute pictures of us.
That is hilarious. Yeah, that's not a fail on us.
No, I feel I could look like that every day, maybe,
Right?
but that's not a fail.
That was one of my arguments to Jill and
such a cute
David
picture.
was,
Yes.
yes, it makes us feel good, but it's not like anyone's following us around with this glam makeup and shit to make us feel like this every day. So it's kind of hard to look at this photo and be like, yeah, that's me.
And now I know I'm unrecognizable.
Oh
Just
my
kidding.
God.
It was hilarious. I about died. But anyway, all right. Do you want to share fails or what were we thinking?
Yeah, I was just thinking, I don't know, the feel that came to mind when we started recording was, some of you might have saw on our Facebook page that I went to go do the beginning stages, the first recording part of the documentary that I'm working on called Keeping the Birds Warm. I do need to keep all names and really a lot of it private until it goes through trial, so I'm not sharing that. But I will say that the recordings and a lot of what is happening takes place in Cobb County. So a very high traffic area where you have to get on all these freaking highways. And I am not highway savvy. And I literally, like, I was on the phone with my cousin and literally 3 times back to back to back, I like, it splits to where it's like, "Oh, go this way and you're on, Highway 85, but then you split this way and you're on Highway 75 or something." And every time I take the wrong fucking split. And so
Oh,
3
no.
times I have to, and it adds 30 minutes every time you do this. Every time. And my
Yeah. 'Cause
cousin,
it's a whole thing
it's
having
a
to turn
whole
around, get like,
thing.
go to the next exit, get
Right.
off,
And
come
it's in the
back,
middle of
get on the right.
Atlanta, so it's, like, not okay. And so
Yeah,
I'm like,
Atlanta's high is a lot of people.
yeah. So I'm, like, in tears and shaking by the time I get to the freaking courthouse, which, of course, I'm already nervous about that because I don't know what to expect when we get to the courthouse and, what exactly is gonna come out of recording, and so I'm already super nervous about that, but now I'm, like, really shaking and really worked up because driving was such a fucking pain in the ass, and that was just a fail. Who takes the wrong exit 3 times in a row? The same exit.
I've done it. I've done it.
Okay,
For
well,
real.
okay, well, at least it's not just me, but that sure
It's stressful.
felt dumb. And I was like an hour and a half late, maybe 2 hours. Let's see. No, I was an hour and a half late to when I said I was gonna meet them and start, prepping everyone for recording sessions and stuff. But ended up working out anyways. So I will say I was very stressed, but it worked out anyways because I got there
Good,
and still there was so much time left before like the big thing. So
good.
it worked out, but it was stressful and I took the wrong turn a gazillion times.
Yeah. Do you think you took the 2nd and 3rd wrong turns because you were already stressed about the first one?
Oh, it's very possible, but honestly, I don't understand the fucking splits. Like there's one part in Atlanta where it's 3 different highways and like one's going this way, one's going straight, one's going this way, but then I feel like
Yeah.
it's not very clear on which highway is which direction. And I just don't
Right.
think that that is my fault. I think that whoever designed these highways are a fucking idiot.
There it is.
Not taking blame is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna not take blame for the dumb highways.
Oh, dear. Yeah. No, it's definitely a lot going on down there.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't live out there, but yay me, I get to do a lot of some recording down there.
Do you think that they'll ever come up and record with you, or is it because you're doing people like, interviewing people that work at the court in the court system?
When it's things like bail and trial and things, like, of course, I'll be recording in
Yeah,
court, but yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness, this is gonna be so interesting.
I know. It's definitely gonna be a long haul, though, so don't hold your breath. It could be 5 years before everything is said and done and, before everything can start getting pasted, so
Yeah, that's okay, that's okay.
be a fun surprise.
You're in it for the long.
Yup.
I like it.
What failed
All
you have?
right.
Or
Was gonna say, you know who else is in it for the long haul? Just kidding.
ooh.
That's what she said. No, just kidding. I was trying to transfer it to our episode.
I have to tell
Was
you
that so funny?
something. I
Oh,
have to tell you
no.
something. Okay, I feel like okay, I gotta tell you just real quick. So Amelia, she created this joke like a few months ago, and she goes, "You know what? Someone can never name their kid Ben Dover because been over." Okay, and then Simon calls me today. He goes, I cannot take this person seriously. His name is Ben Dover. And I was like, "No, shut up." And he was like, I'm dead serious. The guy's name is Benjamin Dover. He goes by Ben Dover." And I was like,
That is
"Oh my
hilarious. That's
god.
a joke that my dad used to say all the
Are you
time.
serious?"
Yep.
I thought
Yep.
Amelia made it up, and I was like, "Who comes up with this shit?" And then sure enough, there's someone named fucking Ben Dover.
That's surprising. I've actually never met one. I've only heard my dad, like, joke about it.
Yeah, and so that happened. But anyways,
Well, my
yes,
brother name is
long
one of my brother's
haul.
name is Ben. Yes, long haul.
Just made me feel like a bend over long haul. Oh my
Oh,
god. We're never gonna get
no.
to the episode.
And we want to because she's
She's
Awesome.
amazing. She's so funny. She's fun to talk to.
She's easy to talk to too,
Yeah, it's
right?
yeah, because for me, sex talk has always been so uncomfortable and, like, embarrassing, and just once
Yeah.
we started talking to her, like, shit just started coming out, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess that's
She
funny."
made it fun, but
Yeah.
she also made it like it's not you know how sometimes we talk about sex and we all start giggling because 'cause we're like children? But it wasn't like that. She made it, like, totally normal, and I loved
Right.
that.
Yeah.
But she's pretty cool.
Love it
So
so much. So if you guys saw on Facebook or Instagram, we have a Athena sex toy party with Lauren that you're about to meet on July 13th. We will be doing it live and in person for anyone who wants to come join us at One Soul Studio. So that's a perfect chance for you to come and tour the studio if you're nearby and would like to check out our friends at One Soul, but then also join us live for the sex toy party. But if you can't make it to Kennesaw
uh-oh.
and join us in the studio, then you, can join virtually, and it'll be just as funny. Lauren's great.
So, yes, join us for the sex party.
Yes, it starts at let's see, it starts we will be there doing behind the scenes starting at 7 PM, but you guys can join us live with Lauren starting at 8 PM. So, get the kids to bed, get your choice of alcohol or non-alcohol, coffee,
Popcorn.
whatever, and let's be silly and talk about dildos. Or not.
I'm actually really excited. Like, I need some good toys in my life.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right. Do we want them to meet Lauren?
Of course we do. Lauren, take it away. All right, Skirts Up Squad. We are so excited because today we have with us Lauren Goyette. She sells sex toys for the Athena's Home Novelty Company. And I hope I got that right.
But she doesn't just sell sex toys.
No, she's apparently like the top in the nation for the company, which is really exciting.
But not even that. She's a sex therapist.
Well, she's apparently since 2013, she's been working in the field of sexual education empowerment, and now she is on her way to becoming a sex therapist by working on your master's. Is that correct?
That is.
All right. It was a long road. We got there.
Sounds fancy. Let's get dirty.
Yes.
We're skirting on in.
So we're going to talk about a few things today, and I'm really excited. So do you want to kind of just give us like
A little
a
introduction.
little introduction, history about yourself?
What got you started? All the things.
So the things that got me started to become a certified sex and relationship coach was, okay, I'm selling the tools, right? The physical tools, the vibrators, the butt plugs, the rope, the blindfolds, all the things to enhance the romance. But yet I noticed that that's not going to fix everything, right? Sometimes there's trust issues. Sometimes there's a really hard time communicating. And sometimes it's
Right.
what you don't know, you don't know. So you're like, oh, I don't know. Why am I not good enough if you want to bring a toy into the bedroom? And then I love education. I love sex theories. And I have all the books of all the famous sexologists. And it's absolutely interesting. There's so much to always know more, can always learn more. And then you can implement what you
Yeah.
learn. And sex gets so much more interesting and beautiful. It's like, kind of priming your palate in a way.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I can relate. But it's not about me today.
Well, that's hilarious because I can relate to the other side where it's like so I grew up in a very, sheltered environment, and there were things that I didn't know existed until my late 20s, if that. And I remember feeling really stupid sometimes and not wanting to ask, but I think that that's why we have you today.
Okay, I do have a funny.
Oh, tell me you're funny.
Okay. So, I'm giving birth to like baby number 3. And so they're looking at, the area. And I thought that the tube thing, the catheter, I thought that where that goes, and I thought that where you pee out of was the clitoris. I thought that was the urethra.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah. So the truth comes out. I did not learn
The anatomy
the vagina anatomy until baby number 3.
and that's fair. Actually, that's a really good
I wonder if that's normal. Is that common?
That is very
I
common.
do believe so.
Really?
Thing that I actually love people to, I do an exercise. Here's the thing. Have you ever held a mirror down there to look at your vagina?
When my uterus was falling out.
Oh, yeah. I did because someone online told me I should.
It's like gorgeous. It's just incredible. And it's even better too because it will change colors the more that you're turned on because the blood rushes down there. Because it's
Really?
Oh, no, I didn't do that.
yes,
Oh, so we need to like watch the whole thing.
yes. If you can, little bring the mirror by the bedside, right, or the couch, wherever you are. I just the thing is, this education wasn't taught. Also,
Uh-huh.
in a penis, the urethra and the ejaculatory canal are the same exact thing. It's the same tube. So it's understandably maybe something that made sense. You would think.
Yeah.
Clitoris is right above the urethral tube.
That little bump.
That little
Little
bump,
bumpy
that
bump.
a happy bump.
All right. Well, now that we got my awkward, didn't know what a clitorius was.
That is okay. And we all need
where
somebody to
do
talk to. And that's the thing. If you don't have anybody to
Sure.
ask these questions to, know that I can be that for you. I'm completely non-judgmental, and I have been that person for people for more than 15 years. So please,
That's
nobody has to know.
really
Are you in a relationship?
I am. I'm actually getting married in October.
Boom, bitch.
congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks.
How does the partner feel about what you do?
He loves it. He's proud of me.
Of
And the
course.
fact that he gets free toys to test because I need reviews, right? I don't own a penis. If I did, I would never leave the house. But
That's what I said.
I wish, right? Like strap-ons are fine. You get like a little bit of that penis owning vibe, but not
You're
really.
like,
He
but you can't
loves
really
it.
feel.
He's really proud of me, and I get to show him all these things I learn, and we get to deepen our relationship as well with all the new things that I continue to learn. And yeah, it's pretty cool. We always get to activate new heights of pleasure together, so it's really nice.
That's really cool. I wanted to ask her about you had mentioned earlier erotic energy.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, I'm just going to put out my question. Are you saying that all of us have a different type of energy and we're trying to like tap in and figure out what ours is? Or what are you saying when you're talking about erotic energy? And why is it important?
We're all made of energy, right? Sexual energy is the most powerful. It's the most creative. It's what makes life, right? So you can actually use sexual energy to manifest. It's called sex magic. Very cool. I am probably going to release a video on like a step by step on how to do that. You're basically
Okay.
circulating the sexual energy through all of the chakras at the top of your head and manifesting your dreams. Plus having
Oh,
really good orgasms at the same time. So there's actually, when it comes to energy, energetic is actually one of 5 erotic blueprints. So while all of us
okay.
have energy and there's a way to exchange energy and be more conscious about it during sex, not everybody knows how to tap into it. But if you're an energetic erotic blueprint, then you definitely know. You like the look across the room, the tease to like bring up the energy. You like the really nice gazes, the almost touched. Do you want me to? Yeah, the almost touch, right? Like the lip
Yeah,
over the lip, but you don't
for real.
do it.
Yeah.
Do you want me to cover the 5 erotic blueprints?
I actually do. I am really curious. Yeah, tell us because there's going to be all kinds of different women out here and men listening to the episode. And yeah, let's hear.
All right. So
So the blueprint.
the 5 erotic blueprint was designed and created by Jaya. She is a sexologist and author. There's a fantastic book, Finding Your Erotic Blueprint. So there's 5. Okay. Usually you'll have a primary and a secondary. So you may be 2 out of 5, and that's cool. So the first one
Okay.
would be sexual. This is very genital focused, right? Whether it's just really appreciative of the naked genitalia, straight to the point, right?
Okay.
Booty cheek, balls, anything. You love the way the sexual organs look. You love sex. You like to watch the in and out, very visually and sexual, right?
Okay.
Then we have sensual. Sensual, you think would be, a little bit slower, a little bit softer, but I want you to think of the five senses. So you may want to light a candle. You have that sense. You may want to hear dirty talk, or you may want to put earplugs in so everything else feels more heightened. You may want to see certain things like a nice fuzzy pillow. You may want to be in like a silky robe. You may want warm massage oil, like the soy candles that melt on the body. We want to play
Right.
with ice, you know. You have a couple
Oh,
things with that, and it's more of like a soft, gentle touch versus like a bang on the ass.
okay. Okay.
Then we have the energetic, and this is all about feeling more than actual penetration. You can actually have an energetic orgasm without penetration, without touching, and with your clothes on. You can tap into
I
all of the energy. It's incredible. Tell me, what?
I have a question. Are you saying that everybody has access to be able to understand each of these 5 blueprints? Or are you saying some people may just kind of relate to one?
Some people may relate to one, and some people actually may be the fifth one, which is shapeshifter. So it can be all of
Okay.
to suit the partner's need, their, sexual partner's need. So they can fit
Okay.
into all of it and tap in.
Okay. Sorry, I interrupted you
No,
because you were about to tell us about energetic, and I'm really excited about this one.
no worries at all. So energetic, we like the build of anticipation, the tease across the room. You could have mutual masturbation where you're not even touching each other, you're just watching each other. With the energy too, it's like you can feel more energy than some of the other blueprints. So I've always been an energetic person. You can feel the energy shift when you walk into a room. If you're one of those people, you're most likely energetic. And there's a lot of teasing that you can utilize with this energy. I have reports on all of this as well to help implement it, to try out and see which one may be for you. The fourth one is kinky. So, my friend, I'm going to ask you both to cross your legs.
Oh, my leg is crossed.
They are crossed.
All right. And I'm going to have you listen to me. And I just want everybody to go ahead and focus on each of their faces and the reactions that will happen after this.
On our faces?
Yep,
Okay.
your face. Go ahead and put your both feet on the floor like a good girl. Okay. So, you may be kinky if you liked that.
Well,
Okay. She's kinky.
yes, Simon does call me a good girl, and it does get me revved. You've already got it.
See, I'm energetic and kinky. All right. I can be a little bit of everything. So I'm pretty sure I'm a shapeshifter, as I've had many partners and they're all into different things, and this is always really good. So, and the fact that you love that good girl, that's that psychologically kinky part. Then you have with the word and like that, the little dominant,
Yeah.
right? That's the fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have physically kinky with props, such as whips and stuff like that. You want to get hit by a newspaper on a leash.
So those are two different.
Yeah.
The
Kinky is broken into two pieces. Psychologically kinky with the good girl and stuff like that. And then physical items, props.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And your last?
So yeah, I think that's really funny. So Simon and I kind of laugh, and so this is all right, listeners. You're gonna get really deep into our sex life, just a little bit. I'll try and keep it a little tame. Mom, tune out. So we laugh because we keep finding new ways to get me off, and sometimes they are not even we could be kissing and all of a sudden, oh, there she goes. And I could be sucking a dick and then all of a sudden, oh, there she goes. And it's like, that's not normal. Like when you look at the statistics, you see that like they all say that most women need an only orgasm from like clitoral stimulation. And so I'm like, oh, I'm the oddball over here just squirting away. Like, just we need water sheets. Like, it's a whole thing. And that's another controversial thing.
That's a question I have then. You raise a really important question. Like, is that really a statistic or is that more of a myth, like, or a misnomer?
With the being able to have an orgasm without being touched by on the clitoris?
The opposite. Like, she was saying that most people need to have that clitoral stimulation.
If you Google it, that's what you see.
But I feel like that could be kind of a stereotype almost, because I don't fit with that.
I don't.
Yeah.
Actually,
And I'm wondering how many more people don't.
Exactly. Probably about 20 to 30% of vulva owners don't need to be touched. So 70 to 80%, these have been studies over the years, 70 to 80% of vulva owners need direct clitoral stimulation. The clitoris has 10,000 nerve endings. It's there for no other purpose except pleasure. So please, everybody, DJ clit, okay? Please touch that. Please. It's only there for pleasure.
That goes back into my wooka wooka.
Yeah, like,
It's perfect.
right? It's always coming. It's 10 a.m. I'm just going to masturbate, right? So you just fall into the 20 to 30% that are able to have a different type of orgasm, which is in those 9 types of orgasm.
Okay.
So I feel like with that being said, that would mean that the majority of our listeners could be like, fuck you, bitches. Like, what about me?
They could. But
they probably won't. They're not that mean. We have nice listeners.
I'm sorry. Have you had an orgasm? Because like, if I knew that other people were having orgasms and I'm just sitting here like, what is this shit? Like, I'd be pissed. Like, I want what you have.
It is really uncertain why some people are able to have an orgasm with kissing, an orgasm with just nipple stimulation, an orgasm by just giving oral to somebody and you're not even being touched. You are just in a different wavelength of sexual energy through your body. So maybe you already have more sexual energy flowing at the will for you to grab and have an orgasm. Also, you could have just a more really in tune feel with your partner. You can be super turned on. Not every, as long as we, can feel pleasure, that's pretty important. However you get there, the journey is going to be different for everybody.
Right. So what is the importance of these blueprints?
The importance of the blueprints is to tap into higher pleasure. All right. So there's pros and cons of each. But if you are, for example, a sexual blueprint, right? You love to just see sex. You can, implement new types of porn, right? Get a giant TV, do it up, right? You could go to sex clubs and watch others. You could have your partner tape it, videotape it. That way you can watch it later. You could get into new positions where you're able to view it better, maybe get a mirror, so there's new ways to just like make it even better. The sensual, where you're adding in, utilizing the 5 senses, there's a lot of new things you can feel. There's also items that actually, it's an electromagnetic wand.
We have one of those.
Yes.
I don't like it personally, but Simon loves it and it goes zap, zap, all over.
Like, what is it? Like
an electro wand.
Yep.
I don't know what that is.
It's really
it electrocutes you?
Yeah, like you stick your finger in a socket.
Yeah, like lightly. So if you were somebody who liked to stick your tongue on the battery, like the D battery, right? A little square battery.
Yeah.
If you're somebody
got you.
Yeah, you like to play that game where you put your finger into like this little, actually I have it somewhere but over here. You put your fingers into these little electrodes, this machine, you hit the button and it will go around. So it'll shock who's ever with you, but it just does one of like 9 of them. Right. And when it does, you and sometimes you can have an orgasm. So I had an orgasm playing this game with our hands stuck in their little fingers.
That is so cool.
Oh my God.
The different frequency of turn on. So there's new ways, new things to bring in. Like you don't have to go out and buy like a shit ton of batteries so you can lick them all at the same time. But there's ways to enhance your experience with each of these blueprints, which is so beautiful because some people are untouched, like they've never had an energetic orgasm before. They didn't know what it was. They thought they were just one, but realized that there's a whole buffet of new things to try that they didn't know would turn them on, but that will because it falls under the different types of play.
So does the blueprint come in when you're in a pretty happy, satisfied relationship, but you just want to try something new and take it to a next level? Or is this like, hey, we're not enjoying sex. Maybe we should focus more on the blueprint styles and see where we fall?
Ooh, and what about those who aren't in a relationship? Can they still utilize it?
Absolutely. So, for example, with the sexual, the need to love to see genitals, those who masturbate in front of a mirror. Very fun.
Okay.
It's very fun.
Okay.
Right? You can like try to make sure your neighbor's watching, right? Get real weird. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Um,
I mean, put me against a window, a skyscraper, like, let's go.
I believe that.
So in a way, it is there to enhance a relationship that you're already having sex in that you may not be satisfied with, but it's also
Okay.
there to enhance your relationship by yourself. Especially if you're in a celibacy period and you're just trying to figure out what really feels sexually authentic to you. Which is a lifetime journey sometimes too. There's always more to learn and more to experience. So it is for those who are completely unsatisfied with their sex lives and for those who want to enhance it. So you find out which blueprint they are. They try different things to figure it out, and then you add onto it. You layer it up with all the juiciness for those blueprint style, and they can kind of like jot down what they like.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Are you a Friends fan?
What do you mean? Oh, like
The show.
yeah, like Phoebe. Phoebe's my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's a nut. I love
Okay.
her.
She's great.
So this is when we came into this conversation, I was cracking up because one of the episodes where Monica is teaching Chandler about the erogenous zones, and then she's like, 7, 7, 7. Okay.
Very well. Yeah.
I'm sure you do. How many zones are there? And then answer that first.
Erogenous zones are going to vary from person to person.
Oh, so not everyone has the same amount?
No.
Oh.
What could be sexy for one person, like, okay, lick my middle toe, right? That could be erogenous zone for somebody. It's not for myself. It could be, lick my ear. I will actually want to hit somebody. Don't come near my ears. Don't blow air in my ears. Ugh. But then some people will like to have their ear licked and like nibbled like a little kitty.
Mm-hmm.
That's my partner. It's weird, but I think it's hilarious. So he's like, it's wicked cute. Some people have the small of the back. Some people love like a nice tongue right up the spine.
So isn't this just like a kink?
Erogenous zones, it could be kinky. It could be based on kink too, like what you're into. Absolutely. I'm going to actually do some serious research after this to see if there's like an amount that everybody may have.
Yeah,
interesting.
Okay, so I asked a question that we will later learn an answer to. Look at me, boom.
Pretty cool.
We all learning.
Yeah. Tell me one of your erogenous zones. Would you like to share?
I mean, I guess. Okay, so what I'm hearing is that basically, how do I want to word this? Okay, in the sexual experiences that Simon and I have been dabbling in, what I'm learning is that anything can be a kink. What you're describing is kind of it's kind of just what it sounds like to me. Like one person that we talked to has this kink is what I feel like it's called, where it's called like a nursing kink. But that sounds like that just means they might have like an oral fixation, which would be an erogenous. How do you say it?
Erogenous zone?
Yeah.
Could be.
Is it?
That would definitely fall into kinky.
Yeah.
Erogenous zones are usually, from what I know, zones are usually like, okay, I love it when they kiss my neck, right? Or kiss right around my collarbone. Or the, nipples could be one. The inner arm could be one. the back of the leg, the inner thighs, right above the waistline of your pants. Everybody has different zones. But when we talk about oral, that is a kink. That is
Gotcha.
that is sexually something that you like on your sex menu, and oral, is probably a sure way to turn you on. So they go for that. So that may be that they
Okay.
a like.
Yeah, we're learning all the
Yes.
things.
And I love it.
Okay, so I guess that makes me think of body mapping. And so maybe that's just something that we should all do with our partner or ourselves, is to learn those zones by a body mapping.
I actually just released a podcast episode on my podcast Desire Dialogues about pleasure mapping yesterday. So look how that worked out. Wow.
All right, I'll link that.
Perfect.
We will link that.
It's really
Yeah.
to know what you and what your partner, like right now, because it could change from 7 years ago.
Mhm.
I think our
Yep.
sexual tastes change with every 7 years, just like your taste buds change.
Yeah.
I'd
that
agree
makes
with that.
sense. So body mapping, like, is there like any kind of like a handbook to it?
I think that's what she's released, right?
It's a talked through guide, and I can absolutely make a workbook that we can link right to it just for your listeners.
Very
I can do
cool.
that.
Do you talk in a seductive voice as you're like walking through the map?
I talk just like this. So, yeah.
She's seductive.
She is seductive.
I don't mean
It just is.
Yeah.
I know.
Like-
I'm just teasing you.
20 years of smoking Newport. So this is how we sound now. And it works for me, I think.
The smoking voice is the end thing.
Hey, if you can get something from it, do it.
One of the things that you kind of blew my mind about, because I can't figure it out on my own, so I need you to help us out. 9 types of orgasms?
Yes.
Like, what is that?
Ooh.
I can think of like maybe 3.
Okay. Which ones do you have in mind?
Okay, well, obviously there's the clitoral.
Yes.
There's the G.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I know people can like nipple.
Yep.
I can't, but so then I guess that's really the only thing I can kind of think of.
I got you.
I don't really know.
All right. So you have 3 of 9. I just checked them off. Let's go through them. All right.
Okay.
A nipple orgasm is not going to be dedicated to one gender or the other. Each nipple and areola, just one, has 800 nerve endings, no matter your
Oh, wow.
right?
I don't think I have any.
Okay,
Is that normal?
no, it is actually. For those who have had nipple piercing or who have breastfed, sometimes the sensation can be decreased after that.
Okay.
So you're okay. It's okay. It's normal. It definitely happens, right? And then we have the clitoral orgasm, right? 70 to 80% of vulva owners require direct stimulation. So definitely bring in a handy dandy little vibe to make this easier.
Boom.
So you have more hands for other things, right? Super easy.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you brought that up, because that's one of the toys that you see like in all the stores and stuff. And I always stare at it and I'm like, what the fuck does that do? Does that go inside of you? Like, what are you supposed to do with it?
I got you. No, I love it. Great questions. This is going to be just a little vibe that will have 11 different functions, which is going to be like low, medium, high, holy shit, here, kitty, 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 rear, just kidding, rear, just kidding. And that's like Michael Bublé, all different ones. But this is
Oh my
going
God, I
to
love
be
this.
easily, you can utilize this in doggy style. You can utilize this missionary. You can utilize this actually. You ready to have your mind blown? Anything that goes underneath your chin, on your cheek,
Ooh.
or onto your throat. Let me turn it on so you can hear my voice change, okay? Onto your throat now turns your mouth into a human vibrator, all right?
Oh.
Yeah. So now my tongue
That's
vibrates.
pretty cool.
When it's under my chin, my tongue can vibrate. And if you want your partner to like absolutely just pound your cheek, for some reason my partner likes to like put his dick between my teeth and my cheek, and I have no idea why. I'm like, dude, you don't even have much room. So I shift this here, and you're like, oh, I'm done. I'm like, nice. Nice. So this is called come a little closer. And you can utilize it in
cute.
any type of play. You can enhance oral for whatever sex is going on. You can go ahead and put this right behind the testicles and the anus. I call it the nacho. So it's not your balls, not your asshole, right? The ABC asphalt connector, and you can stimulate the prostate gland externally on that stretch of skin called the perineum.
So this isn't just a female toy.
No.
Vibration feels good for
Okay.
everybody, right? So just like the nipples have the same amount, you can absolutely maybe bring in a vibrator to see if you can get some more stimulation to the nipple.
Love it.
So
Okay.
nipples is 1, clitoris is 2. You're gonna have the G spot area, like we spoke about. Now the G spot area is about 1 to 3 inches inside on the front anterior, which is the front wall, right on the other side of the clitoris, actually. It's on the front wall of the vagina. All right. The way to activate this is with a toy that actually will have the curve in it already. Okay. Well, a lot of the internal toys you see are going to have this curve because it's more of like a, like pirate hook that. All right. So a lot of times penetration doesn't get that unless you have certain positions. I have a position playbook episode as well too for G spot.
Oh, fun.
But it's really about those fingers, like the come hither motion. So for anybody who has not experienced a G spot orgasm, you are not broken. Please don't do that. The thing is, the G spot actually needs about 20 to 30 minutes to actually have the blood rush to this area for it to be enlarged. So it's like it gets bigger, like bitch, don't miss me, right? But it also is gonna quick little trick that you can figure out what it feels like. It may feel like the top of your mouth, and it has a bunch of ridges. And the rest of the vaginal tissue is going to feel like the inside of your cheek. All right. So it's going to feel like the external piece of like a walnut. Put pressure on that bad boy. Okay. Back and forth really fast or in and out really fast. Okay. Like a really fast come hither. And a G spot area orgasm can sometimes feel like an orgasm and it can sometimes feel like just a relief. Okay. And it can and cannot be paired with squirting, aka female ejaculation, which is where those amazing absorbent blankets come into play. We sell them. They're called a sexy throw blanket. Very fun.
Beautiful. How
I've
long
never
does it
heard of
last though?
that.
Because we keep going through these damn sheets.
Oh,
What is that?
it is an absorbent plush throw blanket.
Okay.
Mine has lasted me 5 years. It is machine washable. They say not to dry it, but I do anyways. Because I'm like a broken sprinkler system, right? And if you're worried about that, you may get oh, I feel like I gotta pee. What happens is you go to the bathroom, you go to try to pee and nothing's happening. You just chipped yourself out of a G-spot orgasm. It's really mind over matter. Once you have your first, it's going to be so much easier.
It doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop. Yeah, the neural pathways know that it's possible and you know exactly what to do to get there. And with the blanket, you have that worry gone about, oh my gosh, I have to change the sheets. I don't want to make a mess, right?
I don't want to sleep in this.
Yeah, the wet spot.
The mattress is ruined.
Yeah, I usually we'll lay down a towel or something.
Yeah.
Because I want to go to bed after when I'm done.
Absolutely. And the thing
Clean then dirty.
And if you've been going through them really fast, we'll talk about after about the quality, and I can send you a link and give you my discount. We'll get you one that you feel really good about. Never go through.
We're going to be BFFs.
I got you, dude. I got you. Like, let's make life so much more comfortable. Life and sex is so messy. Let's have things to make it even more enjoyable. You don't have to worry about one more thing, right? So
all right.
Awesome.
There's your G-spot.
So we got.
All right.
Okay.
Then we have a vaginal orgasm, which is actually the first third of the vagina. Okay. If you've ever had sex with a penis owner and they like to do this weird helicopter move, I don't know. I'm like, where are we going? Well, can you just like hover right there? Actually, this is really cool. The first third of the vagina is covered in the most nerve ending. All right. So that's the fun thing too with the clitoris. Think of the clitoris like a wishbone, right? You have the clitoris here, you have like a little, like what you can see outside, like a little pea, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like a little green pea size, sometimes it's bigger. And the clitoris runs down both sides on the inside, okay? So internal, you don't see it. So it's running down the vaginal lips, all right? And it's running down the inside of the legs. So when you have a clitoral orgasm, sometimes your leg will twitch a little bit, like a dog, right? So the clitoris wraps around both sides of the vaginal canal.
Okay.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
So that's like when like they're just like kind of slapping you with it, like, and they're like slap, slap, slap. That's like what that is.
It can be a slap because you got the clitoris on the vulva, which is your external lips and stuff, right? So the major
Okay.
labora, and then just the first, like just the tip, right?
Yeah, that's the
Just
part.
the tip.
That's where it
Yeah,
hits the sides of the clitoris lick.
that's where I was thinking.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm excited. So this means I'm checking all the boxes so far, minus nipple.
Fuck yeah, you are. Excuse the language. Sorry.
No, I like it.
All right.
Someone is as dirty as me.
And we got this. We got this. All right. So we covered you spot. All right. Now, oral orgasm. All right. This means you can have an orgasm just from someone performing oral or have an orgasm just from performing oral. So, like you mentioned
okay, check.
before, a check.
Got you. Okay.
Keep it on going.
Now let's talk about cervical. So cervical, I know, when you think of pap smears and stuff, right? Yeah. So the cervix is most easily found, obviously deeper in, right? But the cervical orgasm was more easily attained after you already have a clitoral orgasm or a G-spot area orgasm or a vaginal orgasm because more blood is rushed down to that area. And the
Kind of need to
muscles
prime the
overlap.
pump.
Yeah, you prime up. So cervical orgasm is absolutely one of those.
Okay.
And then
I wouldn't
we
have thought that. I
have
don't know why.
anal. All right, my listeners,
Okay.
whose booty hole just clenched up. You're like, oh my gosh, no. Here's the deal, friend. 14,000 nerve endings in the anus. Okay.
Wow.
And this is not something that you were like, okay, no prep, get it in, let's go. Like, woo, it doesn't work that way. Right? I'm going to show you my booty hole. Here it is right here. Okay. Oh, right now.
That's a nice ass right there.
It is, isn't it? So little by little, right? This is an area that wants to be teased. Anybody heard of rimming?
Yeah.
Okay. So an anal orgasm can be achieved from rimming, just rimming. Definitely get a like a nice tongue with some flavored lube or a vibrating toy. Okay. And then once it will actually wink. So that's not a myth. It will actually wink when it's ready because the sphincter muscles are going to now be more relaxed. Okay.
Wow.
The lube, do not use water-based lube. It's not going to work. It's not going to stay. You need a silicone-based lube, either a hybrid lube or just a silicone, because this is a different type of muscle tissue and mucous membranes. So this will go in and it holds at the neck. All right. It gives you this fulfilled feeling. So you can achieve anal with just rimming, just a pinky, just a finger, with a toy, or with a penis or a dildo. All right. And it is a slow process. The two things I hear people say, I am worried it's going to hurt, but really you're actually worried that you're going to poop on a dick and it's not going to really happen unless you had Taco Bell or Chipotle. Okay. That's so we won't go too much farther into that, but that is anal. And if you've never tried anything, I highly recommend you get a small vibrating butt plug and you explore on your own. That way you can feel more confident to share what you want.
Yeah.
It's time for a partner play.
Yeah,
Right.
Sure. I can squirt from that too.
Yes, many can. Good for you. Kudos. High five. Ooh, love it. Because here's the thing. You can reach the G-spot on the other side when you're having anal. There's 9 sheets of paper of a width between the anal and the vaginal canal. 9 sheets of paper. So if you get that right angle,
that's like nothing.
It's nothing. No. So when you have a vibrating booty plug and then you have a penis inside the vagina, they can feel the vibration. It's incredible.
Oh,
They can line
wow.
up the tip of the penis that has the
Oh, shit, I
frenulum
just broke your pen.
and line right up on that. Oh, yeah.
He's getting.
I'm sitting here twitching, like, tell me more.
I got you. Absolutely. All right. And then we have 9 is, no, well, hold on. Number 5, I'll touch on 5, is blended. So this is when you have one or more at the same time. So when you're having an anal orgasm and a G-spot orgasm and a clitoral orgasm, you are good. You're in bliss and someone just needs to bring you a sandwich, right?
Yeah.
We need a nap. All right.
My go-to is chocolate.
Yes.
After that, like, intense, I'm like, all right, don't touch me, just put chocolate in.
Silver chocolate. The last but not least is the energy orgasm. And here's the deal. The way that you said that you're able to have an orgasm just from kissing, okay? There is like a list of 24 different types, okay? But these are the main 9 that I've seen
Okay.
and I talk about on the daily.
Oh, wow, there's more than the 9.
There is.
Okay.
People can get really like creative, so it depends on what source and the
Sure.
references that are listed there. But energetic is one of them. So when the energy is
Okay.
high and you're just kissing and you're so turned on, that's an energy
Mhm.
orgasm, right? You don't even have
Mm.
to be penetrated. That's an energy orgasm. If
I
you're
love
just
this.
kissing and touching outside the clothes, not even on the genitals, that's an energy orgasm. If you're just giving fellatio, yeah, S and the D, that's an energy orgasm, right? So you're not even being touched in the
Okay.
genitals. It is a full blown like imagination. The sex energy is just all throughout your body. You're just so turned on it, you don't even have to be touched. That's energetic.
Okay.
Love this.
Yeah. So those are your 9, my friend. Let me recap real quick: nipple, anal, cervical, clitoral, blended, vaginal, G spot, oral, and energy.
Okay. 7.
And the 7 on my list is G spot. So, Monica,
So Melissa came to me a couple more than a couple weeks ago at this point, and she had someone come to her with a specific sexual question and said, we need to get an expert on to answer this for us. You sure did.
Okay.
Fuck, what was it?
So we have, this is not uncommon, so it's actually not even that crazy, but we have a lady that's older than 60.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did touch on
And
this a
she
little
wants
bit.
to know, yeah, she wants to know, how can someone later in age still enjoy sex?
Well, actually, she wanted us to do a whole episode on, she is awesome. She shared with me like a website where she gets her toys and all that. And she's like, I want people to know that you're not dead after 70. Yeah.
Oh,
Amen.
70. Okay, okay.
Amen.
So she did want to hear a little bit like, what do you say, like sex after 70?
Is it that different?
It's not. You just get more creative about how to make it more comfortable for you. This is where sex swings come into play. It's less
Oh.
tension on the joints. This is where an elevation pillow comes into play. Sell both of them. My parents have both of them. They've been together. Oh my gosh, they've been together for like 38 years. And when I
Aw.
moved out, I took my boxing bag down. And I said, guys, you get this nice eye hook here. You can put a sex swing. They're like, can you get us one? I'm like, I can. It's easier on the
Gotcha.
joints. So they
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't have thought about that for older sex. Not older sex.
But yeah.
Geriatric sex. I don't know. Wait, what's more appropriate?
So the thing is too, it's a matter of what's going to make it better for you. As you get older, the vaginal tissue is going to change. So whether people
Okay.
choose to do an estrogen replacement therapy, just an estrogen cream, I highly recommend it for anybody. There is
Okay.
incredible research on it that is very beneficial. All you're doing is replacing what your body's already made all the way up until then when it stops.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
when it comes to, perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause, the vaginal tissue is actually changing. It's thinning and it's drying. So lube is everything. All right. Lube is always everything, but the type of lube is going to change with your body as you go. And that's really important.
Please tell.
We have a
Okay.
water-based lube. If you have a water-based lube, you need water to actually activate it. Okay. It actually dries up if there's no water. That's why water-based in the anus doesn't work. It just it just goes away.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I did not even ever think
But they
that.
say that like your toys have to be compatible with your lube, and
All right, I got you. Great question too, because you cannot use 100% silicone lube with silicone toys. It will melt.
Really?
They melt into each other. First off, they'll melt
Okay.
into each other.
and when they touch each other, they fucking melt.
They
We've
do.
learned the hard way over and over and over again.
So I definitely suggest
So did you learn the first 10 times? Just kidding.
No.
maybe on the 11th, right?
Did you have fun? Did you have fun? That's all that matters.
So put
Always.
your toys to bed separately, right? They don't sleep well together. Put your toys to bed separately. Tube sock, Ziploc bag, or our storage velvet bags. Those lint free.
Little
Keep them all
bags.
safe.
Oh,
You can put
neat.
your cords in there because they're all USB chargeable now. So you can just
Mhm.
keep them separate. Do the best you can. Things happen, but the lube is everything. So 100% silicone lube is for anal intercourse only. Don't use it with your toys. Don't use it for anything like that. This
Okay.
is, I personally don't sell the 100% silicone lube. I don't like it. There's alternatives. We have a very light
Oh.
grade silicone, okay, that actually made in Norway, which is fantastic. It's called Natural Earth, incredible organic vegan lube. It's made with shiitake mushrooms. So this lube,
Oh.
yeah, this lube can actually, it's given out to cancer patients undergoing chemotherapy that experience extreme vaginal dryness. Now, there's vitamin
Mm.
E in it too.
Okay.
So this is
Oh.
great for menopausal. This is also great for anal as well because it has enough of that silicone for a long lasting feel. It feels like velvet. It's wild.
Yeah.
Then
Ooh.
we have for those who are a little bit older and your vagina isn't making the natural lubrication, or if you're on SSRIs like a lot of America, right? You can,
What is
Yeah.
that?
or
Depression,
Oh,
anxiety.
oh,
yeah, depression, anxiety. Also, any sort of mucous membrane like allergy medication. It doesn't just dry out this orifice; it's gonna dry out that orifice. Okay.
oh,
Yeah, it's all
interesting.
Oh,
mucous
wow.
membrane. So
Huh.
you can utilize a hybrid lubrication in these cases. All right. It's like 3 to
Okay.
5% silicone and the rest is water based. Safe daily for vaginal use. And it's going to be thick enough for anal use, right? And safe for your toys. All right. No
Okay.
silicone with the toys is 100% silicone lube is a no go for your silicone toys. That's it. If you have a small amount of silicone, you're good to go. So
Okay.
I have an incredible hybrid lubricant that I love. It's called Pussy Willow, and it's made from that same company.
That's such a
Okay.
sweet name.
So our water base from that company is made with plant cellulose, and the silicone is made with shiitake mushrooms. So they're all incredible
Okay.
ingredients, and
These kind of sound edible.
yeah, they don't taste like anything. They don't smell like anything, and it's okay if your dog gets in it and drinks a whole bottle of lube. Yeah, they're fine. They're
Okay.
totally fine.
Shit happens.
It's bad, but it happens.
Shiitake happens.
Shiitake happens. Lube is everything, and I hope
Okay.
that if anybody has any lube questions, I'm here for it. We'll find the right lube for your body. That's the thing, because the body can change with whatever's going on, medical conditions,
Yeah.
medications, and the stage your body is in. So that's
That's
okay.
amazing. I really didn't ever think of
I
it
wouldn't have
as
thought
making
medications and stuff.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't have really even thought that different bodies need different lubes, in all honesty.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just kind of thought, oh, grease her up.
And find whichever one you like and play.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
But I was wondering, so before, because I'm not trying to change the subject at all.
No.
But I do want to know, why is it so important for us to be in tune with our bodies and for us to be able to experience pleasure? If I understand correctly, you probably have some cool statistics, but it's better for your life and your longevity and
Oh, are
your
there
emotional
actually-
and your emotional
There's like
health. Yeah, there's actual health benefits, correct?
Very. So
Huh.
the way that we get in tune with our body, we're in a world where we are so technology focused. It's hard to kind of focus on what's going on with your body if you are looking at a screen. It just doesn't
Yeah.
work that way. So what I found is instead of people being in tune with their body and sexually aware and pleasure aware, we're tuned out. So there's something that I do with my clients. There's a bunch of things, but this is the main thing I see. People with low libido
Okay.
are not in touch with their body. So I do daily prompts as well as coaching sessions where you got to figure out where you are baseline. Okay. Are you overstimulated? Are you needing time to decompress? Right. There's a matter of like de-armoring yourself before you're in bed, just chilling. I could be open to sex, but I'm not
Yeah.
needing it. Right. And then you get over
Right.
to now I'm being introduced to sex, initiated, and I'm open to it. People just think you're going to, someone's going to initiate and you're ready, but you actually have to be a little bit more inside your body. So if you need to get more into your body with a meditation, with a pleasure practice, with a shower, with a bath, you have to literally
Mhm.
strip the fucking day off. And a
Yeah.
quick tip to just simple stuff throughout the day. I want you to think of 3 daily things that you do that you can link with pleasure. For example, you take your
Okay.
first sip of coffee in the morning. I want you to
Mm.
do a Kegel exercise.
Oh.
When you are, when you're having, a nice strawberry or your breakfast, do a Kegel exercise. When you're reading a book and you like a
Interesting.
chapter, you like the title, do a Kegel exercise. It's linking your body with pleasure pathways. All right. You're how
Okay.
more
Literally
aware
like
you're becoming.
Pavlov.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
it's a strategy I teach. It's called pleasure layering. So it's pleasure stacking. So
Do you help men and women that struggle with their libido?
I do. It's actually like 90% of those in heterosexual relationships as well as homosexual relationships both experience mismatched libidos. It is so common. I work with couples or I work with women. I do not work with men alone unless they are referred to me and I know them. Um,
Yeah.
Libido is a big deal. There's two types of desire that we don't all really understand. Spontaneous, like it just happens, right? You're like, I'm
Yeah.
ready. Let's do it. And then there is responsive. So you're responding to what is being presented to you. But also, when you're responsive, you're also responding to everything in your daily life that you have to get rid of to be
Yeah.
available per sec.
I'm glad you're saying that because it's really easy to forget because that your partner doesn't always respond to things the same way you do. Like you could literally, like you said, initiate. Initiating is enough for me. But it's not always for everyone.
Yeah.
And you kind of might have to do something to get yourself in that mind space.
It is.
Because it's more than just a
Well, this goes into
physical.
communication. So, because I think, like Lauren mentioned earlier, that what does it for you now may not do it for you another time. And I feel like it could be the same way. Well, not could, it is for me at least. Depending, I could be like, oh, you just winked at me. Let's go. And right now.
Right.
But then there's sometimes where I'm like, nope, you're going to have to do a little kissing. Like, we're going to have to lean into this. And I have to be able to say, like, you're not touching me until XYZ.
Right.
So you have to know what's
So,
on the appetizer list, what you need. And it's going to
yeah.
throughout the month because we have 4 different cycles, not just the mental. We have 4. We can do that whole different thing. Don't worry.
Right.
Oh, interesting. Oh my God.
We have to have her back.
Oh yeah, there's so many things that we can go into. How when you have a couple that let's just see. Okay, I feel like our listeners love when we have tangible examples.
Yeah.
So, let's just go with a personal example of a couple of years into marriage, you're satisfied with your sexual life, but one is more interested in exploring all the options and all the things, and one is very uncomfortable with it, or you're unsure how they're going to respond if you bring it up. How do you coach couples through this, or how do you suggest someone brings it to their partner's attention?
Yeah.
That's okay. Example, we'll have Sarah and John or Sarah and Sally.
Okay.
Doesn't matter, right? We're all going to talk the same way. Hey, Sally, I have been thinking lately that I'm really interested to try anal or try sex in public. And I would like to explore that with you. Like, I love the sex we're already having, but I would like to find new ways to enhance what we're already doing and make it better. Would that be something you'd be open to talking about? Okay, let's go to a different example.
Really quick. I'm already seeing that I'm seeing in my own life where I've broached the subject wrong. Because I'll have said like, hey, would you want to blah, blah, blah. And I feel like maybe that's too much pressure, but you didn't do that. You said, I want to do this.
But also with the example that you just did, in my head, I'm like, oh, that would throw me for a loop if you just walked up to me and said, hey, I would like to have a conversation about exploring anal. I'd be like, what? Like, I need kind of like a build up to like, hey, I love our sex life. And I actually was reading like an article about, the sensories and the anus and, a lead in like that. Otherwise, I'm going to be like completely thrown off. Like, we can't talk about this right now. Like, why are you just throwing this at me?
I got you. And it's called like a positive It's like a positive sandwich. So there's steps, right? So the positive,
Right.
I love the sex that we're having. I love when you do this, and that, right? Then you come with the intention. I was reading something in this book, and I'm actually really interested in trying a threesome and whatever it may be, right? And then it's the invitation. I would like to know if you're, curious about this, then we can set up a time to have a conversation around it so we can experience more pleasure together. Would you be
I
open
like
to
how you
Okay.
that?
said schedule a
Yeah.
time to talk
So
about
you're
it.
not bombarded.
People need time to
They
process.
do. And everybody's different. Some people are ready to go right then and there. Any conversation ever about sex, please have at the kitchen table. Go do it out at a coffee shop, right? Not in the
Oh,
mode,
this
not in the
is
moment. It's really depending on turf. Okay. And also depends
Yeah,
on
yeah.
tone too. Timing's everything.
Yeah.
So
no, I love that you said that. I've had to train Simon of like, okay, you can't ask me in the moment, first off. It stresses me out and now I'm not in the mood.
yeah.
Second of all, you can't ask me just after we try something new if I liked it or not. Like my brain, for some reason, has to go through everything that was felt and how it went into it and all the things. And I have to sit there and be like, did I like it? Did I not? I don't know. Do I need to try it again?
And the thing is, too, after we have orgasms, our bodies are rushed with all these chemicals. Okay. So, for example, biologically, you need 30 minutes for your adrenaline level to go back down to baseline to actually know. So,
Rationally.
digesting. So, when you broach that
Ah,
conversation, they may be like, whoa. Yeah, let's like at least in a half hour or tomorrow when you drop
oh,
the
I
kids
love that.
off. You guys get to, it's an invitation. You share what
Yeah.
you're
Mhm.
interested in, but it's an invitation, but assuring them in the beginning with that positive start that everything's great, but I want to enjoy my
Hmm.
pleasure with you. Would you be open to it?
Oh, I like
Right.
that. Yeah, that's a perfect
That
way. The
helpful?
Yeah.
sandwich.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
that is beautiful. So you're in school
On your way to your master's, right?
to be a sex
Yeah.
therapist for couples,
Yeah.
correct? Have you gotten to practice yet on couples that come together where one, usually the female, has had some sexual trauma and it's like a process to get into that comfortable space with their partner?
Yes. Absolutely. So the reason why I am going to school for sexual therapy is to be able to take insurance so I can help more people. You know,
Mhm.
sexual trauma affects more people than many think. And
Yep.
sexual trauma varies. And that's why the digestion, as you will, like you said, is different. The invitation is going to be different. It's going to be
Oh,
personalized.
so maybe that's why I'm more like, I need more.
Yeah, you need a little bit more. Sometimes I need it to be broad, for example, like when it comes to desire, right? If you're going to be a responsive desire, right? You may not be hungry for spaghetti until spaghetti is on the table. But
Mm.
it's that's why everybody's a little different. But also, so the
Hmm.
way it's being presented, cool. But how are you with yourself? Were you connected to yourself? Were you stressed out? Did you feel safe? Did something happen earlier in the day where you just like, ugh?
Mm.
Sometimes you're gonna need to have a pre-sex ritual where you find a way to connect back to your body.
Ah,
You shed off the layers as a de-armoring process. Okay, to
Okay.
feel more safe with your partner. Do you need to take a bath with them? Do you need to feel emotionally connected to them first? Do you need to read
Yeah.
erotica and use a little toy to get you just started? What do you need? Do you need words of
Right.
affirmation? Do you need a long 30-minute cuddle session? What do you need? And your
so,
partner
like, you would talk to this couple and say, "Hey, your wife has had a traumatic experience. It's kind of hard to understand that. What do you need? I need to snuggle for a moment, hear that you love me,
understand.
and then blah, blah, blah." And so that's kinda how you teach them to kind of connect?
Yes. And it's gonna be different for everybody. Everybody feels safe with different things, right? So instead of
Yeah.
just the aftercare routine that some people need, mostly in BDSM situations, but an
Yeah.
aftercare for those who've experienced trauma is gonna look different from others. Some may need to be
Yeah.
brought a sandwich. Some may need their hair rubbed. Some may need a
Yeah.
bunch of forehead kisses. Some may need
Yeah.
to hear things, and that goes with the pre-care. So not aftercare, but pre-care too. And it's going to look
Yeah.
different. We literally create a playbook and a user manual for all of these clients. And then when it comes
Mhm.
to in the middle of sex, there's safe gestures, there's safe words, there's ways to stop it, there's ways to take a pause, and there's ways to, go slower, go faster. We create these
Mhm.
signals for what's more
Yeah.
fluid because each sexual
Yeah.
experience is going to be different. Even if you have trauma, it can be different. The position, the words, you don't know. But knowing
Yeah.
what to do when your partner is triggered is big. And they'll tell you what that is. And they don't have to say it in the moment. They can just say the word or they can do the snap, which is a gesture.
Yeah, we have like a touch.
Yeah.
If I touch like this, that means, "Oh, okay, today it's just not okay."
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like listening to you talk is kind of making me go back and taking almost full circle because I'm thinking, a lot of people sometimes don't even know what it is that they're going to need. And so that takes us back to that's why it's important to do your body mapping and to know your own self
Yeah.
emotionally as well as sexually, right?
I guess so, like, in our marriage, when we like, literally, I think our first 2 years, like, it was very vanilla, very basic because there's me trying to decide how do I feel safe and how are we, gonna how am I
Right.
gonna get comfortable with this? Now that I am very comfortable and I am very safe in my relationship and we are trying all the things and getting into all the fun things,
Yes.
it's like I wonder like would there have been like a faster way? What someone who is in that relationship like where they just are struggling trying to get comfortable with the sexual experiences like is there a faster way or like do you have to spend 2 years of like trying to be like, "Yeah, I don't know if I feel safe. I don't know what I'm doing."
You do, that's the thing. It's going to be different for everybody. And the fact that it took you 2 years, that's going to depend on how long it makes you feel safe, how long it takes to make you feel safe. The way to shorten that is to figure out the things that make you feel safe and what your partner can do and consistency.
I feel like that would have helped, like, not knowing that there's something to figure out, like, there's something.
You probably, yeah, I feel like it sounds like you were floundering even, not even realizing that you were looking for what it is that makes you
Yeah,
safe.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Maybe.
and sometimes we don't have to know exactly what it is. We can know like what the
Mhm.
root cause is. We don't have to do that. But we can know the things that kind of irk us, right? Whatever that is.
Yeah.
And just when it comes to sexual trauma, it's if you're with two people, it's a within that partnership issue. That's it. It's not a personal
Mhm.
issue. You get to tackle it together. That builds that safety net as well.
Yeah.
But we just, as people who
Yeah.
have trauma, the way that you heal is different, but it's a lot easier with a coach. It's a lot easier with
Yeah.
a coach. You don't have to explore it on your own. You only go as deep as you want. But the thing is, we get to figure out what are the pillows surrounding your body to make you feel safer? What are the words?
Mhm.
What are the things that feel good? Put more of that there. And what do you need to feel safe going up and safe after? And
Yeah.
that's it. It's all about, if you're in the car, how fast you want to go. When do you need to hit the brakes? When can you hit the gas? And how can you say that with a
Right.
gesture or something to your partner as you go without saying the
Yeah.
whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you just brought up sex coach. So, is this something that one-on-one and you are literally on video coaching them how to touch themselves or is this like just a conversation of oh, okay next time you're having alone time try this like what
Next
is
time you're
this?
having alone time, try this. So, as a sex coach, I never watch anybody be naked. If I do any sort of guides for how to touch yourself, it'll be an audio that they'll listen to later as during their self
Oh.
practice. A sexual self care routine is something I highly recommend. I help my clients do a user manual where they figure out the things that turn them on, turn them off, their initiation styles, their erotic blueprint styles, their sex language, as well as their love language and what desire type they are. A lot goes
Oh.
into
Okay.
this. Never mind, uh, you know, trauma always can play a big part into all of those. And
Yeah.
knowing these things in a way that you're able to find, like, oh, wow, that makes sense. Then communicate it to your partner, game changer. Everyone's on the same table with the right
Hmm.
information. And then
Right.
it's just opens up room for so much more. So,
Jeez.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm glad that we answered what a sex coach is, because what I see in my brain is Meet the Fockers, and she's sitting there like putting people together and like boing, boing, boing.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So unfortunately, no, I do not do that. If I ever do a workshop, it'll be like fully clothed, a little tantra, if you will. Couple.
Is that a skill you have as
Yeah.
well? Teaching tantra sex, tantrum?
Yeah.
Tantrum.
And there's a lot of,
Awesome.
beginner all the way up to, it's a beautiful modality. It's a beautiful practice.
Yeah.
And that is really getting in touch with yourself, very much so,
Yeah.
in your own body.
Man, there's so much. I feel like there's so much we didn't even cover.
I know.
Think about it and like, we can break them up all into little episodes, bite size.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love it if we could get you back and talk about the initiation. That was something you said, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
There's an initiation
So
style
anyway,
that will change depending on the cycle you're in. If you are older vagina.
okay. That I really do want to talk about women's
Cycle
health with you
as in
too.
like we are talking about like menstrual cycle.
Okay.
Follicular, ovulation, luteal. Yes, I get the cycles. We can go through that for sure. It's really cool to know when you're most creative too as a business owner, or when you're most open, or when you need more rest and a book and chocolate. Like it's just there's so many things.
Wait, your cycle controls when you're more creative than other.
What?
Yeah.
So much.
When you're more open to different types of initiation by your partner. When you actually need more physical attention or soft touch, or if you want to be spanked. Like it's all depending on that cycle. We have 4 cycles. As a vagina owner. It's incredible. Yeah.
See,
There's so many things.
Lauren, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, my friend. This has been
My mind is
incredible.
blown.
Yeah.
I feel like
Thank you so much. It has been great.
So we'll have you on again. So listeners, make sure that you are letting us know which aspect do you want to dive into deeper and have Lauren help us explore. I mean, there's so many. Sex toys, apparently cycles.
Women's women's health. All of it.
It's so fun.
I'll have to re-listen to this episode too, because throughout listening, I'll be like, oh yeah, that she said that.
I already got questions. I'm already going to be in your DMs once we stop recording.
Please. I appreciate you guys for making this platform available, covering so many beautiful topics. And we had a great time. You guys are very easy to talk to, and I am here for you. I'm here for your listeners. If you need somebody to talk about these questions, you don't know who else to ask, I'd be honored to be that person for you, man. I got you. I got you.
Thank you.
You got it. Thank you.
Thanks
so much.
Well, you heard it here, guys.
Skirts out,
I guess. We'll go with that. Oh, I just wanted, before I stop recording, can we start singing our song again?
Again?
Yeah, because now it will be on recording.
Oh, I thought we had it.
No, it wasn't recording. All right, Lauren, can we end by serenading you again?
Please.
We thought that you would like this.
So just to set the stage, the air came on and it sounded like we were under the sea. Under the sea. Wait, darling, it's better down where it's wetter.
Take it from me.
All right, and see what we did there? Wetter down there.
And she's doing a wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Yeah. Okay, guys, we'll stop being dirty. Did you like the episode that you heard today? Great. Share it with a friend and don't forget to rate and review.